Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, is a character who is as complex as he is influential. His life and actions played a pivotal role in the narrative of the Trojan War, one of the most famous events in Greek mythology. But Agamemnon's story isn't just about war, it's also a tale of family, power, and the consequence of pride. In this video, we'll delve into the intricacies of Agamemnon's life, from his royal lineage and his role in the Trojan War to his tragic downfall. We'll examine his relationships with other key figures in Greek mythology, such as his brother Menelaus, his wife Clytemnestra, and his children. We'll also discuss the historical and cultural significance of Agamemnon's story and its enduring impact on literature and art. So sit back, relax, and join us as we unravel the ultimate Greek tragedy, the story of Agamemnon. Agamemnon's story begins with his lineage. He was a descendant of Pelops, son of Tantalus. According to common Greek mythology, Agamemnon and his younger brother Menelaus were sons of Atreus, king of Mycenae, and Arope, daughter of Cretan, king of Catreus. Agamemnon's father Atreus committed a heinous crime by murdering the sons of his twin brother Thyestes, and feeding them to Thyestes after discovering Thyestes' adultery with his wife Arope. Thyestes fathered Agathis with his own daughter Pelopeia, and this son vowed gruesome revenge on Atreus' children. Agathis murdered Atreus, restored Thyestes to the throne, and took possession of the throne of Mycenae, jointly ruling with his father. During this period of turmoil, Agamemnon and his brother Menelaus took refuge with Tyndareus, the king of Sparta. In Sparta, Agamemnon and Menelaus respectively married Tyndareus' daughters, Clytemnestra and Helen. Some stories suggest that Clytemnestra was already married to Tantalus, and Agamemnon murders him and the couple's infant son before marrying Clytemnestra. Agamemnon and Clytemnestra have 4 children, 1 son, Orestes, and 3 daughters. Menelaus succeeded Tyndareus in Sparta, while Agamemnon, with his brother's assistance, drove out Agathis and Thyestes to recover his father's kingdom. He extended his domain by conquest and became the most powerful prince in Greece. Thus, Agamemnon's family history has been tarnished by murder, incest, and treachery, consequences of the heinous crime perpetrated by his ancestor Tantalus, and then of the curse placed on Pelops, son of Tantalus, by Menelaus, whom he murdered. The Trojan War, one of the most well-known events in Greek mythology, is where Agamemnon's story takes a dramatic turn. The war began when Paris, the Trojan prince, abducted Helen, the wife of Agamemnon's brother Menelaus. This act of defiance against the Greeks led Agamemnon to call upon the princes of the country to unite in a war of revenge against the Trojans. Agamemnon, being the king of Mycenae and the most powerful prince in Greece, was chosen as commander-in-chief of the Greek forces. Despite not being as skilled of a fighter as Achilles, Agamemnon was highly respected for his strategic contributions. He is said to have killed as few as 16 Trojan soldiers and as many as hundreds during the war. However, the journey to Troy was not straightforward. The Greek fleet was prevented from sailing by calms or contrary winds sent by the goddess Artemis, because Agamemnon had offended her. In order to appease Artemis and allow for the fleet to sail, Agamemnon was forced to make a heart-wrenching sacrifice, his own daughter, Iphigenia. This fact, while ensuring the Greeks' fleet passage to Troy, sowed the seeds of discontent and tragedy that would later unfold in Agamemnon's life. After a long and brutal war, the Greeks finally managed to capture Troy. In the distribution of war prizes, Agamemnon was awarded Cassandra, Priam's daughter. Cassandra was a prophetess who was famous for her prophecies not being believed. Agamemnon's decision to bring Cassandra back with him as a concubine was seen as flagrant disregard for his wife Clytemnestra. This act, coupled with the sacrifice of their daughter and Agamemnon's murder of Clytemnestra's first husband, set the stage for tragic events which awaited Agamemnon when he returned from the war. While Agamemnon was away at war, Clytemnestra had taken a lover, Agathis. Agathis was son of Thyestes and had a personal vendetta against Agamemnon's family due to the atrocities committed by Atreus, Agamemnon's father. Clytemnestra herself harbored resentment to Agamemnon for the sacrifice of their daughter. Upon Agamemnon's return to Mycenae, Clytemnestra and Agathis enacted their plans for revenge. Clytemnestra greeted Agamemnon with false show of love and led him to a bath, where she ensnared him in his robe, and Agathis or Clytemnestra herself ended him. They also removed Cassandra, who had predicted that Agamemnon would be treacherously slaughtered by members of his own household. Thus, Agamemnon's story ends in a tragic twist of fate. The king, who had led the Greeks to victory in the Trojan War, met a gruesome end at the hands of his own wife and her lover. His death marked a dramatic climax in the cycle of revenge and murder that had plagued his family for generations. The story of Agamemnon doesn't end with his death. In fact, his murder sets off another cycle of revenge led by his son Orestes. Orestes was away from Mycenae when Agamemnon was murdered. Upon his return, he found his father dead and his mother Clytemnestra ruling as queen alongside her lover Agathis. Orestes was devastated by his father's death and outraged by the treachery of his mother and Agathis. As the story goes, guided by the god Apollo and accompanied by his sister Electra, Orestes decided to avenge his father's death. This was a difficult decision for Orestes, as an act of matricide was considered a grave sin in Greek society. However, Orestes believed that avenging his father's murder was his duty as a son. In a tragic turn of events, Orestes killed his mother Clytemnestra and her lover Agathis. This act of revenge completed the cycle of violence that has plagued the house of Atreus for generations. However, Orestes' actions were not without consequences. He was pursued by Furies, ancient goddesses of vengeance, for his sin of matricide. The story of Agamemnon and his family is a powerful reminder of the destructive nature of revenge. It shows how a single act of violence can set off a chain of events that leads to more suffering and death. The tale of Agamemnon serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of revenge and the importance of justice and forgiveness. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the tragic tale of Agamemnon. From his royal lineage and his leadership in the Trojan War, to his tragic downfall and the cycle of revenge that followed, Agamemnon's story is a powerful testament in a complex and often brutal world of Greek mythology. We hope this exploration has given you a deeper understanding of Agamemnon's life and the themes of power, betrayal, and revenge that permeate his story. As we see in the tale of Agamemnon, it serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of revenge and the importance of justice and forgiveness. Thank you for joining us in this journey through Greek mythology. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about other figures from mythology, history, and beyond, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring these stories to life. Please leave your thoughts in the comment, and until our next adventure, stay curious, stay inspired, and as always, happy storytelling.